Holy cow. I had actually shot a video and I was going to upload it when I got back because I've been working on The Woman Who Loved Elvis filming locations, which I know just how it's a slow progress, but it's coming along and it should be done here in about a week or so. I should be getting that done and finalized. But anyway, so I was going to do a video talking about the Knicks, the New York Knicks. I was going to go into great detail about their history and about how they finally broke the curse of 53 years of winning a championship. And then as I was looking at the news and stuff, I'm like, no, I don't think it deserves it. I don't think it deserves it because I think this championship, this is a common thing. It's fine. It's fine if the die-hard fans want to celebrate a championship. That's fine. New York hasn't had many championships in the last 30 years, so they ain't had a lot of championships besides the Yankees, which tend to dominate that. You know, the Jets, forget it. The Giants, okay, they won a few championships. But, you know, overall, New York hasn't had a lot of championships. So if you're a diehard Knicks fan, okay, so be it. Go ahead and celebrate in the comfort of your home. This is excessive. This is actually getting worse as the times go on. I even noticed it when my team, the Kansas City Chiefs, won some championships. And I noticed that it was pretty bad with that. But it seems like the bigger the city is, the more rioting that happens. And right after, you pretty much knew that this series was pretty much dead and buried because the Spurs blew a 29-point lead in Game 4. So you pretty much knew that this series was dead and buried. And yeah, I hate to say it. I hate to say that. New York fans are classless. You know, I thought it was bad when I heard years ago that Philadelphia fans would throw snowballs at players. And no, the Philadelphia fans threw a snowball at Santa Claus. At Santa Claus. New York may have found a way to top that because there's been fires and looting and rioting and everything else. And New York literally has their hands full. They might have their more hands full than on 9/11. What does the cow? Yeah, you're right. I might have went a little far with that one. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But New York police have their hands full. I wish there was something that could be done to prevent this. Really, I do. And the reason I'm saying is because each time a team wins a championship, it gets totally out of hand with what the fans do. And the fans get a little overzealous about this. It's just a championship. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you don't hear of this in like other sports like golf. Let's say a player wins a championship. You don't see their hometown just destroying everything. You don't hear this in NASCAR where some driver from a city wins a championship and then there's a great big destruction and everything of the city. You don't hear of that in stuff like that. You only hear that in NBA, Major League Baseball, and of course the NBA. But you don't hear it of anywhere else. You really don't. Well, NHL you hear about it, but it's so bad and it's a little ridiculous. Show some class. But you know what? What do you expect? It's New York. New York, New York. The Big Apple. They have no class. It's not just New York. It's cities around the United States that do this when their team wins a championship. and it's a little ridiculous. I was going to talk about the Knicks winning a championship, but what's the point? What's the point is it's actually a backstory. It's actually a complete backstory to what's going on in New York, because the whole city is under chaos. It's under chaos, and this can go on until the next season. It usually goes on for quite a while, but after a while, maybe a week or two of doing this, things will calm down and get back to normal. But in the meantime, we got to put up with hearing about all this destruction of property, which what the fans don't realize, this costs the city money, because they got to repair the buildings, they got to repair street signs, they got to repair a lot of stuff. And the stupidest thing I saw, the fans actually set a school bus on fire. That is some stupid shit going on, because these New York fans are classless, very classless. You hear of a lot of these celebrations for fans. You hear it all the time, all across the board in sports. But this one seems a little bit more excessive than usual. I remember when Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl here a couple years ago, and there was actually some people that died from all this excessive rioting of winning a championship. You have heard of some injuries. I haven't heard of any deaths yet as of recording this, but it could happen, and it just so it's. I wish there was something they could do to prevent it from happening, but there really isn't. And as long as there's sports around, you're going to hear of this. You would think New York would show a little bit more class, but then again, it is New York.